The functions f, g, and h are defined as follows. So we have these functions. F is equal to 7 minus x, g is equal to x squared, and h is equal to 5 to the power of x. And our goal is to calculate the value of x for which f of x is equal to 15. Now, what is f of x? Well, f of x is equal to 7 minus x. So replace f of x with 7 minus x. And so we have 7 minus x is equal to 15, and our goal is to solve for x. We're going to take this 7 and send it across the equal sign. It was a positive 7, but it becomes a negative 7. And so we have negative x is equal to 15 minus 7, and 15 minus 7 is definitely 8. So we have a negative x is equal to 8. Next, we divide both sides of this equation by negative 1. This negative cancel with that. And so what we have here is the negative 1 on top cancels with the negative 1 at the bottom. And so we have left is x. X is equal to 8 divided by negative 1, and 8 divided by negative 1 is simply negative 8. So x is equal to negative 8. So that means the value of x for which f of x is equal to 15 is negative 8. Next, we have to calculate the value of x for which g of x is equal to 36. And so we have g of x is equal to 36. But what is g of x? Well, g of x is equal to x squared. G of x is equal to x squared. So whenever we see g of x, we're going to put x squared. And so we have this quadratic equation, which x squared is equal to 36. We have to get rid of this power on top, this power of 2 on top, or this exponent 2 on top. So we take the square root of both sides of this equation, and the root and the power cancel out each other. So these two cancels out. So we have that x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 36. Now, what is the square root of 36? Well, the square root of 36 is equal to 6. So the value of g of x for which the value of x for which g of x is equal to 36 is 6. But notice that I have plus or minus 6. And so it could be positive 6 or it could be minus 6. And that makes sense because if we have x squared and we put 6 squared, positive 6 squared is still 36. And if we have a negative 6, well, negative 6 squared is going to be positive 36. And so that's why we have x is equal to plus or minus, x is equal to plus or minus 6, because both of them can work. The positive one can work and the negative one can work to give you 36. And so that's the answer here, plus or minus. X is equal to plus or minus, x is equal to plus or minus 6. Next, it says calculate the value of x for which h of x is equal to 125. And so we have h of x is equal to 125. What is h of x? Well, h of x is 5 to the power of x. So instead of putting h of x here, we put 5 to the power of x. And so we have 5 to the power of x is equal to 125. Now we're going to write 125 with 5 as the base. And so we have 5 to the third power, and 5 to the third power is exactly 125. And so what do we have? Well, we have 5 to the power of x is equal to 5 to the power of 3. Now, since the bases are the same, that means that the powers are equal. And so that means that x is equal to 3. And so that means that the value of x for which h of x is equal to 125, the answer is x is equal to 3. And that's the answer to this question.